So now we're on to example 3 of the handout. Determine the quadratic function. Again, this question says determine the equation of the quadratic function in standard form. So now they're asking in standard form, ladies and gentlemen. They gave you the vertex is -4 and -5, and then pass it through a point, -2 and -1. And again, use the information. I apologize, I skipped the actual answer for the sketch for example 2. So let's just do example 2 really quickly over here. Well, this is erase it, so example 2 is there. So for example 2, we have -1 and 2, and something at negative, a half, oops, a half is there, and -4.5, which again, your classmate said it, so it's something like that. I got it. So that was the example 2 answer that we have failed to mention. I think a lot of you knew how to do that. I'm off screen. Here for example 2. That's the answer. Any volunteer to start us off for question, example 3 though? Any volunteer? Ted, you want to start us off?
Y equals A. X plus 4. Grade -5.
Nice. Ted's just doing a nice easy substitution of the vertex. Right, with that information. Everyone okay with that? Really easy. You want to keep on going, Ted?
Yep.
Sure.
-1 equals A. X minus 2. Or, I'm sorry, what am I doing?
It's okay.
2 squared.
This is helper one, so it's -2 plus 4. 5, and you're actually still squared minus 1. Let's just pause there. So don't get me wrong, everyone. If you did this, that's fine. This one tends to be easier, but if the numbers were fractions or decimals, yeah, it's probably a little better to go a bit more careful. Right? Because Ted is doing -2 plus 4, so he's doing order of operations. Did a volunteer do the next line? Did a volunteer? Owen?
It would be -1 equals 4a minus 5.
Okay, so.
And then 4a equals 4. And then a equals 1.
So add 5 both sides, blah blah blah. We go over a equals 1. Therefore, the vertex form happens to be x is 4 squared minus 5. So this one, a little cheap, a little easy. And then I think a lot of you know how to expand this. Order of operation says we have to expand the perfect square first, and then subtract 5. X squared plus 8x plus 16 minus 5. 11. Extension question, can I get a volunteer to tell us what's the coordinates of the y-intercept? What are the coordinates of the y-intercept? You know, I'm asking that. Any volunteer? What is the y-intercept? Ted!
11.
11 is correct. 0,11, right? And how he's getting it? He's looking right there. If you're not too sure, if you still need to do some math, plug in 0 into this. You get 11. Or plug in 0 into this. Well, into this one. 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 5 is 11. Either way, it's fine. Answer for this one. Now, the scale is a little wacky, and again, if you got the handout, it might not have come out. So in any case, at -4 and -5, and like something like that. It goes off screen, but it should definitely go up to 11. And it should be congruent to y equals x squared. Just trying to say congruent. Before we continue, everyone okay? Really easy. Example 4a and 4b, I can't really put them out, so hopefully you're looking at the PDFs or looking at the PowerPoints, and they might assist you. So let's just move this over. And on the tests, or maybe on the exam again, there's a lot of questions, but it's not guaranteed that every question is going to pop up, but probably completing square, quadratic formula, maybe even something describing things. Maybe too lengthy, right? But for example 4, and I'll just do, maybe I'll have to do both. It says determine the quadratic functions given in a diagram, right? And obviously these diagrams from the handout, they're a little small, right? So I'm just going to lead you a little bit. Determine the equation of the quadratic function in standard form with the given parabolas. So for question A, just letting you know, I think, and it'd be hard for us right now as a class, but I'm just trying to lead you. If you can read the x-intercepts or the roots with the zeros, that's very, very helpful. And in this case, I think everybody can see it. I'll just lead us a little bit. The roots happen to be x equals 4 and x equals -2. And I think a lot of you also realize we can see the y-intercepts. And if you look closely, the y-intercept in this case, I think they said it's supposed to be 0, -16. So just to make sure we're okay, I think a lot of you know what we would do. I would use factored form, plug in, and then solve, right? So now that you have the information, now that if you could read off a graph, if you can do that, that's great. Now don't get me wrong, if you can read the vertex, it's even better, but as it stands, I think if you can see the important parts, that's why reading off a graph is, it's a skill, and hopefully there'll be nice numbers, just like in this example 4. Example A. I'll just give you the answer if that's all right. The final answer is y equals 2x squared minus 4x minus 16, I think. Just double check your work. Solve it out. That is the final answer for example A. For example B, though, and let's see if I'm still on the screen. I'll move this over just a tad. Example B. Notice it doesn't have any x-intercept, right? So we can't use the factored form. But I think we can see the vertex. Let's see if someone actually can read. Any volunteer from the class can actually read the coordinates of the vertex? What?
Is it -4, -2?
It is -4. Don't feel bad if the photocopy, but that's what it is. And I think everyone agrees also the y-intercepts you can actually read. And I think it actually is 0, -18. Right, so again, just reading off a graph from the photocopies, it might not be so clear. And again, I think a lot of you know we would use the vertex form. And just like our classmate helped us out in example 3, it's very, very similar. So I'll give you the answer for this one, so you can check yourself. And I think the answer is y equals -x squared minus 8x minus 18. Let's see that on the video. So that's the final answers. Notice, if you're doing this on a test, you'll get the mark, but you'll lose some process mark, right? If you get chosen one. I just wanted to give you the answers for the examples. Okay.